Chosen one. You are not here by accident. Your spirit was summoned to this moment by divine appointment and perfect timing. Something in the unseen has shifted, and heaven is positioning you for a supernatural financial breakthrough, a divine wealth transfer that no enemy can interfere with. Anointed one. God has watched every injustice, every lie, every wound, and now his anger burns on your behalf. Just as Isaiah declared that no weapon formed against you will prosper, this word arrives as your confirmation. Breathe deeply. Align your spirit. You are stepping into a sacred exchange where honor returns and abundance follows. Chosen one. Listen closely. Heaven would not have drawn you here unless divine timing had aligned perfectly with your spirit. You are not here by coincidence. You are here because what was done to you has reached its spiritual limit, and what is being prepared for you is now reaching its appointed hour. Anointed one. There were people who truly believed they could bury you in silence. They thought stripping your honor, twisting your name, and isolating you would break your spirit. But a soul chosen by heaven cannot be suffocated by human hands. They wanted your silence, but silence is where God speaks the loudest. They wanted you small, but pressure only deepens the anointing. Here is the truth they never understood. They did not just mistreat you. They mishandled someone heaven marked. They mishandled someone carrying divine investment. They mishandled someone whose destiny does not shrink under attack. It expands. Chosen one. I know there were nights when you wondered if anyone saw what they were doing to you. You felt invisible, abandoned, and misunderstood. You questioned your worth. You asked why the attacks were so personal, so strategic, so cruel. But heaven saw every moment. Every tear was counted. Every betrayal was recorded. Every lie was weighed on divine scales. I know this not from theory, but from experience. I've walked through seasons where people smiled at me while holding knives behind their backs. I've entered rooms where the air felt heavy because my name had been carried there long before I arrived. I've lived through injustice that steals sleep, disturbs peace, and bruises faith. And every single time, heaven waited, then heaven answered. And that is exactly where you stand now. Chosen one. What they did to you was not small. It was intentional, calculated, and designed to break a spirit they could not control. They feared your calling. They feared your integrity. They feared your quiet power. Nothing threatens darkness more than a person who refuses to become like their enemies. They didn't attack you because you were weak. They attacked you because they sensed you were becoming powerful. They didn't target you because you were unstable. They targeted you because your presence exposed their instability. They didn't try to silence you because you were wrong. They tried to silence you because your truth made their lies tremble. And understand this, God does not sit still when an innocent soul is tortured. Divine justice may seem slow, but it never arrives late. Heaven's timing is perfect, and heaven's response is precise. The shift you've been sensing, that strange calm, that quiet expectation, that feeling that something is moving, is not your imagination. That is spiritual realignment. Just as the wind stills before a storm, heaven goes quiet before justice strikes. Chosen one. Justice is moving toward you now. Honor is returning. Strength is returning. Dignity is returning. Not because you fought for it, but because heaven demanded it. You survived their cruelty, but now you are about to inherit the compensation tied to every wound they caused. What they meant for destruction is about to become the foundation of your elevation. What they tried to bury you with will become the soil that grows your next level. This is not just healing. This is divine recompense. This is restoration. This is the beginning of your reversal. Chosen one, now that you understand the spiritual weight of what was done to you, you must also understand the spiritual weight of what is about to unfold. Heaven is not simply observing anymore. Heaven is intervening. And when heaven intervenes, the entire atmosphere around your life shifts slowly at first, then suddenly, then undeniably. For a long time, chosen one, you carried the pain quietly. You held the weight without complaint. You kept trying to give people grace, even when they were taking advantage of your kindness. You kept forgiving people who weren't sorry. You kept steady around people who were counting on your collapse. But grace does not mean blindness, and patience does not mean approval. All this time, heaven was allowing the story to stretch because exposure needed time to ripen. The same people who thought they held power over your reputation never realized they were only digging their own graves. The same ones who whispered about you behind closed doors never imagined their secrets would one day echo against the walls they trusted. And the same ones who tried to turn others against you never expected the truth to turn others against them. That is the season you are walking into now. Chosen. The energy around you has shifted. The atmosphere is different because heaven is preparing to restore you openly, not quietly, not subtly, but undeniably. Restoration is not gentle when injustice was violent. Restoration comes with force, clarity, and divine authority. And that is why you may feel a strange combination of peace and pressure right now. Peace, because your spirit knows justice is coming, and pressure, because the enemy senses the same thing. Your enemies feel the shift. They don't know how to explain it, but they feel it. Their usual tricks no longer land. Their words don't carry the same influence. Their alliances are cracking. Their confidence is trembling. Their masks are slipping. The universe is not just exposing them, it is unraveling them. And Anointed One, let me tell you something deeply spiritual yet deeply practical. When heaven elevates you, heaven simultaneously disrupts anything built against you. Your rise creates their shaking. Your vindication becomes their undoing. Your restoration becomes their revelation. That is why their energy feels off. That is why their behavior feels frantic. They are sensing what they cannot stop, the divine reversal unfolding around you. But this reversal is not simply emotional or relational. There is a supernatural transfer tied to this season. There is a financial elevation wrapped inside this justice. There is a promotion, spiritual, personal, and material that is being positioned over your life. Because heaven does not repay injustice with sympathy. Heaven repays injustice with blessing. Chosen one, you are stepping into a realm where what was stolen must be restored, where what was blocked must be opened, where what was delayed must be accelerated. You may not see the details yet, but the shift is already happening in the unseen. You are being repositioned for opportunities that were once withheld. You are being aligned with connections that were once kept from you. You are being elevated into spaces that were once closed to you. And I tell you this with absolute sincerity, not as a distant voice, but as someone who has lived through cycles of betrayal and breakthroughs. Every time heaven allowed someone to mistreat me, it was because heaven planned to elevate me beyond their reach. Every time someone mocked my downfall, heaven turned it into the platform for my rise. Every time someone tried to erase my name, heaven inscribed it in places their hands could never touch. That is what is happening for you. Chosen one, your silence was not a failure, it was a seed. Your restraint was not weakness, it was wisdom. And now the harvest tied to that restraint is approaching your life. Divine justice is never merely symbolic, it is transformational. When God restores honor, He also restores influence, visibility, and provision. When God restores dignity, He also restores opportunity, resources, and recognition. Some of the people who betrayed you will pretend nothing happened. Some will act confused about why their life is falling apart. And some will finally understand, not because you explained, but because heaven revealed. Their downfall will be their confession. Their loss will be their apology. Their exposure will be their accountability. And chosen one, your rise will be your answer. This is the moment where heaven demands balance. This is the moment where your name begins to rise without your effort. You don't have to fight for validation. You don't have to explain your innocence. You don't have to chase closure. The truth is working for you. Justice is working for you. Heaven is working for you. You are stepping into a chapter where honor returns louder than the lies ever did. A chapter where people who once doubted you will witness your elevation and have no explanation but God. A chapter where shame is replaced with recognition, where silence turns into authority, where isolation turns into alignment. Chosen one. The reversal has already started. Chosen one, now we step into a deeper layer of what heaven is unfolding around you. Exposure was never the end goal. Exposure was only the doorway. What comes next is elevation, the kind that does not ask for permission, the kind that does not wait for approval, the kind that arrives because heaven has already stamped your name on the next level. But before heaven elevates a chosen one, heaven always reveals. Not to embarrass your enemies, but to free you from the weight of what they tried to attach to your destiny. Their lies had to be stripped away, so your rise could be clean. Their masks had to fall, so your path could be clear. Their intentions had to be revealed, so you would stop doubting your discernment. Chosen one. You were not paranoid. You were prophetic. You didn't imagine their motives. You sensed them. You didn't misread the energy in the room. You picked up the truth beneath the surface. Your spirit was telling you what your mind didn't yet know how to explain. And now heaven is confirming what you felt all along. This is why things around you feel strangely unfamiliar. The shift has already begun. Some people who once had constant access to you now feel distant. Conversations that once drained you have suddenly stopped. Doors that once felt impossible are quietly unlocking. Your spirit is outgrowing environments your flesh once tolerated. Elevation always starts in the spirit before it shows up in the physical. And chosen one, heaven, has begun elevating you internally so it can elevate you externally. Your eyes are sharper. Your intuition is louder. Your boundaries are stronger. Your soul is more anchored. You are no longer who you were when they attacked you. Their betrayal didn't break you. It upgraded you. Your wisdom grew. Your strength multiplied. Your discernment deepened. Your calling intensified. This is why their old tactics suddenly have no effect. This is why they sense they can no longer reach you. They may still try to tug at the old version of you, but that version no longer exists. You have crossed a spiritual threshold, and they can feel it, even if they cannot explain it. Chosen one. When heaven begins to promote you, heaven also begins to protect you. Some people were removed, not because they were evil, but because they could not go where you are going. Some connections were blocked, not because you failed, but because the timing was not aligned. And some opportunities were delayed because heaven wanted to deliver something bigger. Your elevation will not come from the people who betrayed you. It will not come from the environments that rejected you. It will come from places you didn't expect, through people you haven't even met yet, in ways your past cannot predict. And here is something you must understand deeply. Your next level is not tied to their approval. Their opinions do not define your access. Their doubt does not block your destiny. Their disbelief does not influence your outcome. Heaven is promoting you because heaven chose you, and heaven does not ask permission from your enemies. Chosen one. Your story is shifting from survival to ascension. The days of defending yourself are ending. The days of apologizing for your existence are over. The days of shrinking your light to make others comfortable are behind you. You are stepping into a season where the favor on your life becomes visible, undeniable, and unexplainable. Some people will try to reconnect because they sense something changing. Some will come with empty apologies. Some will pretend they were supportive all along. But pay attention, elevation requires discernment. Not everyone deserves access to your next level. Not everyone deserves a seat in your restored life. Not everyone who reappears is meant to remain. As you rise, stay grounded. As you elevate, stay aligned. As you ascend, stay surrendered. Heaven is building a foundation beneath your feet that no attack, no rumor, no betrayal will ever shake again. Chosen one. This is the season where everything flips, not gradually but dramatically. Things that felt stuck will suddenly accelerate. Paths that felt blocked will suddenly open. What once felt impossible will feel inevitable. Heaven is not only restoring what was taken, heaven is replacing it with something greater. Chosen one. Now that the elevation has begun, you must understand something even deeper. Heaven is not only lifting you up, heaven is transforming you. This next phase is not just a change in circumstances, it is a change in identity, authority, and spiritual rank. You are not simply rising, you are becoming someone new, someone stronger, someone wiser, and someone the enemy cannot touch again. Transformation is a holy process. It does not come through comfort. It comes through fire. It comes through pressure. It comes through betrayal, silence, and spiritual discomfort. And whether you realized it or not, everything you endured was shaping you for the version of yourself you were always meant to step into. Chosen one. The attacks pushed you into clarity. The rejection pushed you into purpose. The isolation pushed you into alignment. The betrayal pushed you into discernment. And the wounds pushed you into spiritual maturity. You are not the same person who entered the storm, and that is exactly the point. This transformation is heaven's way of ensuring that when you reach your next level, you will never again be vulnerable to the people who mishandled you. Heaven is rebuilding you into someone who cannot be manipulated, misled, or mistreated in the same way. You've outgrown the traps that once caught you. You've outgrown the insecurities that once silenced you. You've outgrown the people who once distracted you. This is why the old version of you had to die, not physically, but spiritually. The one who tolerated disrespect is gone. The one who tried to save everyone is gone. The one who ignored red flags is gone. The one who doubted their intuition is gone. And the one who needed external validation is gone forever. Chosen one. You are stepping into the version of yourself heaven always intended, the version that carries authority, stability, and spiritual dominion. And here's something few people understand. Transformation happens before manifestation. The blessing comes after the becoming. And heaven has been shaping you in secret, preparing you privately, and strengthening you silently for what is about to be revealed publicly. You had to be uncomfortable. You had to be stretched. You had to be pruned. Heaven removed certain people because they were draining the strength you needed for your elevation. Heaven shut doors because those paths were too small for the destiny ahead. Heaven stirred your spirit because your old environment no longer matched your new assignment. Chosen one. You felt the shift long before anyone else did. You began losing interest in conversations that once entertained you. You became sensitive to people who carried hidden motives. You felt uneasy in spaces that once felt normal. That was your spirit evolving faster than your surroundings. Now, heaven is bringing everything else into alignment, and this alignment comes with unusual acceleration. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. Resources come unexpectedly. The right people begin to show up at the right time. You find yourself in places you never could have reached on your own. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is divine synchronization. But transformation also demands responsibility. As heaven elevates you, heaven expects you to move differently. You cannot think like the old version of yourself. You cannot speak like the old version. You cannot react like the old version. Because now you carry a level of spiritual authority that requires composure, discipline, and discernment. Chosen one, your elevation is not temporary. Heaven is making it permanent, but permanence requires foundation. Heaven is rebuilding your character, so your blessing will not collapse under pressure. Heaven is strengthening your spirit, so success will not overwhelm you. Heaven is grounding your identity, so no compliment or criticism can shake your purpose. This is why certain things no longer satisfy you. This is why certain relationships feel too small. This is why your spirit feels hungry for something deeper, purer, and more aligned with who you are becoming. Transformation expands your appetite. It widens your spiritual capacity. It awakens long dormant gifts inside you. Chosen one. Your intuition is sharper now, your voice is stronger, your faith is steadier, and your confidence is no longer fragile, it is rooted. You are beginning to see yourself through heaven's eyes, not through the distorted lens of those who tried to diminish you. And let me tell you something, sacred transformation is the greatest revenge. Because when heaven lifts you, no one can deny it. When heaven restores you, no one can reduce it. And when heaven crowns you, no one can remove it. Your enemies will witness your rise, but they will not be able to interfere. They will see the blessing, but they will not be able to touch it. They will hear your name being honored, but they will not have access to your circle. Heaven is not just elevating you, heaven is insulating you. Chosen one, you are stepping into a season where you will no longer chase, beg, explain, or prove. You will simply embody what heaven has spoken. And everything, your posture, your energy, your presence, your wisdom, will testify to the transformation within you. This is not the climax of your story. This is the metamorphosis before the reveal. Chosen one. Now that your transformation has taken root, heaven is preparing to open doors that were never meant to stay closed. This is the phase where spiritual alignment meets divine opportunity. This is where everything you endured begins to unfold into purpose. And this is where heaven introduces you to the realm of supernatural provision, strategic connections, and the divine wealth transfer assigned to your destiny. Elevation without opportunity is incomplete. Transformation without activation is unfinished. And heaven is not raising you just to watch you shine. Heaven is positioning you to carry influence, resources, and authority for a higher assignment. Your breakthrough is not simply emotional or spiritual. It is also practical. It will touch your finances, your work, your relationships, your platform, and your future. Chosen one. When you were in your lowest seasons, you asked why certain blessings were withheld. You questioned why doors shut in your face, why people ignored your gifts, why opportunities passed over you. But the truth is simple. Heaven would not allow your next level to be handed to the version of you that still needed healing. Your old self could not have sustained what is coming now, but now you are ready. That's why the shift is happening. Heaven never wastes elevation. Your transformation has prepared the spiritual foundation needed to receive what was always written for you. And one of the greatest signs that your season has changed is this: you will begin to attract what once avoided you, and you will begin to access what once rejected you. Doors that stayed locked are about to open easily. Opportunities that felt distant will now come searching for you. People who once overlooked you will suddenly speak your name with honor, not because they changed, but because heaven changed your rank. Anointed One. This next chapter is not about chasing blessings. It is about walking into blessings that were already assigned to your lineage. The wealth transfer spoken over your life is not random. It is connected to your purpose, your calling, and your spiritual inheritance. Heaven is shifting resources, connections, and influence into the hands of those who carry purity, integrity, and assignment, and you are one of them. This transfer may not always appear dramatic. Sometimes it begins quietly, a new connection, a door someone recommends you for a sudden financial breakthrough, an unexpected opportunity, a shift in favor. Pay attention to these small signals. They are early signs of a much bigger release. And, chosen one, let me speak from experience. When heaven begins moving you into rooms you didn't ask for, it is never by accident. I have walked into opportunities that made no logical sense. I have met people I had no natural way of meeting. I have stepped into blessings I could not have earned with effort alone. They came because heaven orchestrated it. They came because timing aligned. They came because I surrendered. And they came when I least expected them. The same grace is about to rest upon your life. Oh, chosen one. The wealth transfer connected to your destiny is not just about money, it is about freedom. Freedom from survival mode, freedom from lack, freedom from cycles of instability, freedom from depending on the wrong people, freedom from environments that dim your potential. Heaven is positioning you to operate from abundance, not fear, from overflow, not scarcity, from confidence, not desperation. But understand this deeply: wealth follows alignment, blessings follow obedience, favor follows clarity. And you have stepped into all three. Your spirit has matured, your discernment has sharpened, your posture has shifted, and now heaven can trust you with what was once delayed. Chosen one. The connections coming into your life will not drain you. They will elevate you. The opportunities being prepared will not distract you, they will shape you. The financial doors opening will not corrupt you, they will empower you. This is why you had to be refined. This is why heaven allowed losses, delays, and separations. You had to be purified before you could be trusted with abundance. And now the gates are opening. Chosen one. Prepare yourself. You are entering a season where you will look back and realize the struggle was never meant to break you. It was meant to build you for the blessing that is now rising over your life. Chosen one. Now that heaven has begun releasing opportunities, shifting resources toward you, and aligning divine connections with your path. There is something you must understand with absolute clarity. Heaven will also protect what it gives you. A blessing without protection becomes a battlefield. A breakthrough without covering becomes a target. And heaven refuses to place you in a season that you are not spiritually shielded for. This next phase of your journey is not only about what you receive, it is about what heaven prevents from being stolen. You are stepping into a level of favor that requires supernatural guarding. The elevation you're entering is visible, and your enemies, spiritual and human, will feel the shift. They cannot stop it, but they will sense it. And heaven knows this, which is why divine protection is already surrounding the blessing before you even step into it. Chosen one. Think back to the times in your life when opportunities suddenly collapsed, plans fell apart, or connections unexpectedly ended. It felt like rejection, but in truth it was protection. Heaven saw something you could not. Heaven overheard conversations you weren't present for. Heaven discerned motives before they reached your heart. And heaven intervened quietly, removing what looked good, but was never safe. In this new season, heaven will not allow even a single blessing to fall into the wrong hands or into the wrong atmosphere. You are not walking into this elevation exposed. You are walking into it, covered, surrounded, insulated, and divinely shielded. And here is the truth. The same people who once caused your pain will not be permitted anywhere near your breakthrough. They may watch from a distance. They may observe your rise. They may even try to reconnect, pretending their motives are pure. But heaven will block access every time their intentions are not aligned with your destiny. This time, you will not be fooled. This time, you will not be blindsided. This time, you will not ignore your discernment. Heaven has strengthened your intuition so deeply that you will sense energy shifts instantly. You will feel hidden motives even before words are spoken. You will recognize spiritual danger long before it reaches your space. What once deceived you will not deceive you again. What once manipulated you will not manipulate you again. What once distracted you will not distract you again. This is part of your divine protection wisdom that was forged through pain. Chosen one, heaven protects what it promotes. And because heaven is elevating you, every area of your life is being guarded with supernatural force. Your finances will be protected from sabotage, unnecessary loss, and spiritual interference. Your peace will be protected from emotional instability and draining connections. Your opportunities will be protected from jealous hands, hidden agendas, and false alliances. Your calling will be protected from the voices that once spoke death over you. This protection might not always feel dramatic. Sometimes it will look like silence. Sometimes it will look like distance. Sometimes it will look like isolation. But do not confuse isolation with abandonment. Isolation is preparation, insulation, and preservation. Heaven is separating you so that nothing attached to your past leaks into your future. And anointed one, let me share something personal. There were seasons in my life when God was blessing me, but I didn't yet understand the need for protection. I shared too much with the wrong people. I trusted too quickly. I gave access to hearts that were not healed enough to handle my destiny. And every time something went wrong, not because the blessing was flawed, but because the environment was. I learned painfully that not everyone is meant to be invited into every chapter. Some people can handle your struggle, but not your success. Some can handle your humility, but not your elevation. Some can handle your silence, but not your voice. And heaven had to teach me to stop carrying everyone into spaces where God had only reserved room for me. Chosen one, heaven, is now teaching you the same. This time, you will guard what God gives you. This time, you will protect your peace fiercely. This time, you will move with discretion. This time, you will treat access as sacred. Everything in your life is shifting from public to prophetic direction. Not everyone gets to know your next move. Not everyone gets to hear your plans. Not everyone gets to stay close. Your life is becoming more strategic because your destiny is becoming more valuable. And here is the beautiful part: as heaven protects you, you will feel safer in your own spirit. You will walk with a confidence that does not come from ego, but from divine backing. You will move with authority that doesn't come from pride, but from spiritual certainty. You will act with clarity because heaven is guiding your every step. Chosen one. The blessing coming to you is great, but the protection surrounding you is even greater. You are walking into a season where every blessing is guarded and every enemy is blocked. What is yours cannot be touched. What is promised cannot be stolen. What is aligned cannot be disrupted. The chosen one. Now that heaven has surrounded your life with divine protection, there is a second wave of supernatural movement already building behind you. Momentum. Protection preserves what heaven gives, but momentum multiplies it. This next phase is not slow. This next phase is not gentle. This next phase is not subtle. You are entering a season where heaven accelerates everything connected to your destiny. Momentum is the divine push that takes you from surviving to ascending. It is the invisible wind that carries your purpose forward, even when you do not feel strong enough to run. It is the spiritual force that transforms one small open door into a corridor of opportunities. And chosen one, that force is beginning to gather around your life right now. For so long you moved through seasons where everything felt delayed and heavy. You pushed and nothing moved. You prayed and nothing shifted. You planned and everything fell apart. That wasn't because you were unworthy. It was because heaven had not yet ignited momentum. You were being prepared, not punished. You were being strengthened, not rejected. You were being positioned, not sidelined. And now the appointed time has come. Chosen one. Heaven is about to take what once took you years and compress it into months. What once took months will compress into weeks. What once exhausted you will now flow with ease. This is not ordinary advancement. This is acceleration by divine authority. Think of an airplane. For most of the journey, the plane moves through the sky at a steady pace, but takeoff requires force. Runway requires power. The moment before lift demands the greatest resistance. And that's where you've been in the pressure space before elevation. The turbulence you felt was not the end. It was the signal that momentum was being activated. And now the wheels are leaving the ground. You are entering a season where better connections will find you rather than you chasing them. Opportunities that ignored you will now request you. Rooms that once overlooked you will begin to call your name. People who once doubted you will watch in silence as heaven lifts you higher than their opinions ever allowed. Momentum changes the atmosphere. It alters perception. It shifts power. When heaven backs your movement, no enemy can block it, no jealousy can slow it, and no sabotage can reverse it. You are stepping into unstoppable flow, the kind of flow that carries you from one victory to another without exhausting your spirit. And here's the part that will surprise you. This acceleration will not feel chaotic. It will feel natural. It will feel peaceful. It will feel right. That's how you'll know it's God and not human forcing. Divine momentum doesn't drain. It refreshes. It strengthens. It elevates with clarity, not confusion. Chosen one. I've lived through this too. There were seasons where nothing moved, where every step forward felt like dragging a mountain. Then suddenly doors opened that I didn't knock on. People I admired started reaching out. The same voices that once whispered doubt began speaking respect. And all of it happened so quickly that I knew it wasn't my effort, it was God's momentum. That is what you are stepping into now. Momentum is proof that heaven has shifted its hand from preparation to promotion. For years, God was building the character to sustain the blessing. Now, God is releasing the blessing your character is finally ready to carry. When divine momentum hits your life, everything aligns: your money, your purpose, your relationships, your health, your clarity, your calling. You no longer have to fight for every inch. Your spirit stops wrestling. Your path stops resisting. Your purpose begins unfolding with divine ease. And here is the promise. Momentum is not temporary for you. It will not fade after a week. It will not crumble after one breakthrough. This momentum will build upon itself. It will compound. It will grow stronger with every step you take. Every decision you make, aligned with God's will, adds speed to your elevation. Chosen one. This is your moment of divine acceleration, the season where heaven not only restores, but propels. What was held back is being released. What was delayed is being delivered. What was blocked is being opened. The wind behind your destiny is shifting from stillness to power. Chosen one. Now that momentum is lifting you into a higher realm of alignment, there is something extraordinary about to unfold: fulfillment. Not just progress, not just signs, not just confirmation. Fulfillment is when the promise becomes tangible, when what God whispered becomes visible, when what you carried in faith becomes something you can finally hold. Fulfillment is the stage where heaven's word steps out of the unseen and walks into your physical reality. It is the season where everything God prepared in secret becomes undeniable in the open. And chosen one, you are entering that season now. For so long you lived in the space between prophecy and manifestation. You were given glimpses, hints, and small confirmations. You felt the stirring in your spirit, the quiet assurance that something divine was approaching. But the timing was hidden, the details were concealed, and the waiting felt endless. You watched others rise while your own path remained still. You celebrated breakthroughs that were not yet yours. You held on to faith even when evidence disappeared. You kept showing up even with an exhausted soul. That is why fulfillment carries weight, because it does not arrive in the hands of the untested. Chosen one fulfillment comes to those who endured long enough to be trusted. And now heaven is shifting your story from endurance to evidence. You are entering a phase where answered prayers will begin stacking one after another. This is the season where blessings that once felt distant suddenly sit at your doorstep. This is the season where the seeds you planted through pain, discipline, silence, and obedience begin breaking through the soil all at once. Fulfillment is not random, it is synchronized. It comes in waves, not drops. When heaven fulfills, heaven overflows. And here is the beauty. The fulfillment you are stepping into will happen in areas you forgot to pray about. Places you stopped expecting. Dreams you buried because you thought they died. But God does not forget what you release. He resurrects what time tried to bury. Chosen one fulfillment often feels like a miracle because it contradicts the timeline of your suffering. There were moments when you thought you were falling behind, moments when you felt insignificant, moments when your progress felt invisible. But heaven was not punishing you, heaven was perfecting you. Fulfillment requires maturity, fulfillment requires capacity, fulfillment requires readiness. And now heaven has declared that your time has come. This fulfillment won't only change your life, it will define your destiny. It will shift how people see you, how opportunities approach you, and how heaven uses you. You are stepping into a future that looks nothing like your past, and the people who underestimated you will witness the shift with their own eyes. This is the season where your name is called into rooms you never entered, where doors open before your hand touches the handle, where financial provision appears without struggle, where divine partnerships align without effort, where what once resisted you now makes room for you with honor. Chosen one fulfillment is heaven's response to your faithfulness. And let me share something personal. Fulfillment has a feeling. It carries a sensation of divine recognition, as if heaven is gently saying, "I never forgot you." The first time I felt fulfillment come into my life, it wasn't dramatic. It was peaceful. It felt like breath returning after years of holding it. It felt like justice settling softly into my bones. And then suddenly, everything accelerated. Doors I had knocked on years before suddenly swung open. People who never noticed me began reaching out. Projects that once failed revived themselves. Money that was delayed stormed in. And I knew this was not effort. This was fulfillment. Chosen one, that same wave is approaching your life. Your fulfillment will be visible. It will be undeniable. It will be public. God is not just restoring quietly, He is restoring loudly enough for every doubter, every critic, every betrayer, and every silent observer to see His hand on your life. And when fulfillment arrives, something sacred happens. Your identity shifts. You no longer see yourself as wounded, overlooked, or delayed. You begin to feel chosen in a deeper way, not as a title, but as a lived truth. Chosen one, you are stepping into the chapter where God's promises stop being prophecy and start being proof. Chosen one, as this message comes to an end, let your spirit recognize what heaven has already set in motion for you. Nothing that was done against you has the power to stand in this moment. Every lie, every attack, every attempt to break you has been overturned by the hand of God. You are stepping out of this word covered, strengthened, and aligned with a supernatural transfer already moving in your favor. Anointed one, you are standing in your Kairos time, your divinely chosen moment. Honor is returning to your name. Justice is rising on your behalf. What was withheld is being released. What was buried is being resurrected. Heaven is restoring you publicly, powerfully, and precisely. Walk forward with calm certainty. The evidence of God's movement will follow you. Stay aligned, stay faithful, stay expectant. Nothing can block what has been appointed for you. Chosen one, I speak clarity, protection, and acceleration over you. May the blessing with your name on it locate you quickly and settle on your life with undeniable favor. If this word confirmed what you felt in your spirit, leave a comment and stay connected. Your next chapter has already begun.